Metal Hellsinger is a fast-paced, Doom-like arcade shooter, set to an epic metal soundtrack. It injects simple but effective rhythm mechanics into its brutal and satisfying gunplay and movement, and it left me feeling like I'd had an adrenaline shot straight to the heart. The story is mostly a ridiculously metal excuse to violently tear your way through hell and all its minions. You're the Unknown, a fallen soul on a quest to retrieve her voice from the Red Judge, aka the Devil. It's not the deepest story, but it gave me just enough world building and character development to feel invested. The core rhythm mechanic is nice and straightforward, just attack on the beat. Time your shots right and you'll get a damage bonus, as well as start to build up your hit streak and fury. Mistime your shots or get hit, and you'll lose your streak and some of your fury, which is constantly draining. Fury gives you a damage boost and acts as a score multiplier, as well as a trigger for how metal the soundtrack is. At 0 you get a beat and a riff, and as it goes up, more of the track is layered in, until you hit max, when the vocals finally kick in. On occasion that can be jarring, with vocals suddenly dropping in or out. But overall it flows impressively well. Not to mention it completely kicks ass when you're on a streak, slaying monsters left and right in time to the vocalist growling and those guitar riffs shredding. Meanwhile, your hit streak will trigger certain streak boons, offering things like slower draining fury. I didn't really notice the boons in practice, but as an ex-Guitar Hero player, simply building a high hit streak triggers enough dopamine to be its own reward. Underscoring the rhythm mechanics is the fact that Hellsinger nails the fundamentals of being an arena shooter. You have a double jump and dash move combined with your speedy base movement, make moving and dodging attacks exhilarating. In a nod to Doom, weakened foes also become primed for a satisfying slaughter execution, turning them into brutal cross-map grapple points that can pull you out of danger or straight into the next fight. It also doubles as the main way to regain health, so you're always pushing into the fight. Meanwhile, the menagerie of demons you face mix things up and complement each other perfectly, with easily dispatched cannon fodder, tougher ranged attackers, and a variety of mini-boss like brutes being used to great effect to make each encounter a uniquely crafted death dance. Weapon variety is a little on the low side, but all the arena shooter greatest hits are here, and each is punchy and gratifying to use. A sword and a flame-shooting skull always accompany you, and you'll eventually unlock 4 extra weapons. There's a trusty boomstick, dual pistols, an explosive launching crossbow that you can rocket jump with, and dual boomeranging sights, but you only get to bring 2 of them into each level. Each weapon also has a special ultimate attack, which helps give them an extra bit of personality and utility. Ammo is infinite, but most weapons do need reloading, which if timed right can be sped up dramatically. I do love a good active reload, and this one combines with the rhythm mechanics to make the reloading almost as satisfying as the shooting. Hellsinger is a fairly short game, with just 8 levels or hells, with each taking around 15 to 30 minutes to clear, depending on your skills. The default difficulty provided a stiff but enjoyable challenge for me, with only a particularly brutal difficulty spike on the final boss, approaching rage-inducing bullcrap territory. Death does carry a heavy price too, with limited respawns per level, and each respawn coming at the expense of your final score. A decent bit of extra playtime is added thanks to challenge levels or torments that unlock from each hell. They're all set in single arenas and throw a specific challenge at you, such as constantly changing your weapon after every kill you make. They're also brutally timed, with getting the required types of kills the only way to add time to the clock. They're fun and tricky challenges to conquer, changing up how the game plays and forcing you to mix up your strategies. It almost feels like it goes without saying, but it's the excellent sound design and music that ties everything together. From the way your footsteps are always in time with the music, or how levels spew fire and pulse to the beat, to that extra punch guns get with a perfectly timed shot. And of course, that powerhouse metal soundtrack. Even if you don't consider yourself a fan of metal, you'll likely be won over by how well it works with the action. And if you are a fan, well, how can you not appreciate this metal album cover coming so gloriously to life? It's a bold move to call your game metal, but I don't think anyone would argue that this isn't metal. So should you play Metal Hellsinger? Well, if you like shooters, rhythm games, or metal, then absolutely. But hell, even if you don't like those things, this game still kicks butt. Sure, it's a simple idea, and one that we've seen before in games like BPM, but just like good metal, it's executed with such all-out technical confidence, over-the-top style, and balls-to-the-wall action that you can't not be impressed by it. And yeah, it's short, you'll have your fill with it in an afternoon or two, but from the first arena I was completely absorbed, tapping my feet and slaying monsters in a near-perfect state of gaming flow. It's a tight, brutal, and metal package that I adore. Anyone who says otherwise can go to hell. Play.
Seemed to me like Judd's got a raw deal back there. But I guess that's heaven for them. One of these days, they're gonna get there.